Choli, Assistant Professor in LJ Institute of Engineering and Technology in Department of Electronics and Communication. This video is about subject Analog and Digital Communication System. So, in this video, we will learn about the frequency modulation. As we discussed in the last video, the angle modulation, it is classified into the two categories, and that two categories are frequency modulation and the phase modulation. We have derived the equation for the FM wave. We have also find out the modulation index, deviation ratio and the deviation constant. Now, in this video, we will see about very first what is the effect of that modulation index. So here in the diagram you can see over here that we have the carrier signal, we have what? We have the modulating signal, and here you can see that we have the frequency modulated output. Okay, so frequency modulation is the process in which the frequency of the carrier signal is changing in accordance with the amplitude of the modulating signal. So I said that the amplitude of the modulating signal increases, frequency increases, amplitude of the modulating signal decreases, frequency decreases. So that way we have the decrease in the frequency, mean the change in the frequency that we found, and we say that the change in the frequency that we observed in the AM FM wave, it's known as the frequency deviation. So now here you can see in this diagram, okay, if the modulation index is 1, if the modulation index is 1, you can see that the two sidebands are there and the one carrier signal. So it consists of the two sideband and the one carrier signal according to the Basel's table. Similarly, if the modulation index is 2, so if the modulation index is 2, you can see that there is a 3-side USB and the 3 LSB plus 1 carrier. So as way, you can see that as the modulation index increases, by increasing the modulation index, the number of sideband over here, that is also increases. So now that gives us some idea that the modulation index increases, number of sideband increases. Now the number of sideband that increases, we have the idea about the bandwidth requirement. As we know that while we are transmitting all these signals, okay, so that requires some space. So now over here, as the number of bands are more, then the requirement of the bandwidth that can also be increases. So now we can see over here that this is the frequency spectrum of the FM wave, and this frequency spectrum of the FM wave that consists of the number of sideband, okay, and the carrier. Now here all the signal, if we are assuming that are the sine wave, then all my sideband, okay, that will transmit, they will combine and it will make the one FM wave. Okay, so you have seen the frequency spectrum of the AM wave also, and in the AM wave we have seen that only the two sideband and the one carrier is there. But in that, the carrier, okay, to transmit the carrier, the maximum power that is required for transmitting the signal. Over here, okay, you can see that only the one carrier and with that too many sidebands are there, okay, and this all sideband that will form the one FM wave. Okay, so now you have to keep in mind this value that earlier it's FC carrier frequency, then then the FC minus FM, FC plus FM, FC minus FM, FC plus FM, FC minus 2 FM, FC plus 2 FM, FC minus 3 FM, FC plus 3 FM. Similarly, we know that how can we find out the bandwidth? So we can find out the bandwidth by considering the highest frequency band. Okay, so here whatever the highest frequency band of those frequency that is mentioned, according to that you can find out the frequency value. So now the FM wave that consists of the infinite sideband. So to find out the bandwidth for that, okay, we can go for the rule which is known as the Carson's rule. It is also developed by the Carson. So Carson's rules that states that the bandwidth of the FM wave is equal to the twice of the sum of the deviation and highest modulating frequency. So you can say that it is what? So it is the bandwidth is equal to twice delta F plus FM. Now delta F is the frequency deviation and F maximum, that is the maximum modulating frequency. So now we can find out the bandwidth required for the FM wave by using the Carson's rule. Now do you know, this is the fact about the FM wave. What is this? It's in FM, only those sidebands with the largest magnitude are significant in carrying the information, and the sideband containing less than the 2% of the power have little overall effect on the intelligibility of the signal. So this is the fact about the frequency modulation. Now we'll solve one example, okay, based on this theory. So the example is, what is the deviation ratio in the television sound? If the maximum deviation is 25 megahertz and the maximum modulating frequency is 15 kilohertz. So now we'll use the formula, that is the MF. What is the MF? Modulation index in the frequency modulation. It is what? It's a FD upon FM. So FD is the frequency deviation, FM is the maximum modulating frequency. Here we have the data, we can put the value. Okay, so this value is what? It's a 25 divided by 15. So it's a 1.667. That is the modulation index required, okay, for the television. Okay, so this way we can find out this. Okay, then after the classification of the FM, as we know that the modulation index, okay, depending on that the number of sideband varies. Number of sideband, according to that the bandwidth of the FM that varies. Now the classification of FM that has been done according to the modulation index obtained in case of the frequency modulation. So on the basis of the modulation index, FM is classified into two categories. If M less than 1, if the M less than 1, modulation index is less. If the modulation index is less, the number of a sideband in that it is less, and the bandwidth required that is also less. So the smaller bandwidth, if the M is less than 1, then the FM is said to be a narrow band FM. Mean the small bandwidth, okay, it is considered to be as a narrow band FM. And the other cases, if the M greater than 1, if the modulation index value that's greater than 1, Now you know that if the modulation index value is greater than 1, the number of sideband it has that are more, and if the number of sidebands are more, okay, it requires the bandwidth, it's again the higher. So you can say that if the m greater than 1, the FM is said to be a wideband FM. So in the narrowband FM, the maximum modulating frequency is 3 kHz and the maximum frequency deviation is 75 kHz. So this way the modulating frequency is again the small, okay, in case of the narrowband FM, and the maximum frequency deviation is 75 kHz. So here it's the equation for the narrowband FM. It is the VFM, that is the voltage equation for the FM wave. It's a VC sin omega CT plus MFVC by 2 sin omega C plus omega M into T, okay, minus the MFVC sin omega C minus omega M into T. So now this consists of the carrier, USB and the LSB. Here you can see that the sign for the LSB is minus. So it is the phase shifted by 180 degree. Okay, so now this way the narrowband FM that can be used in the variety of the applications, that are the FM mobile communication, police wireless, ambulances. So these are the various applications in which the narrowband FM which is used. Wideband FM, while the modulation index value that's greater than 1 is referred to as a wideband FM. And in the case of the wideband modulation, the maximum modulating frequency is 30 Hz to 15 kHz and the maximum frequency deviation is 75 kHz. The bandwidth required for the wideband FM is 15 times that of the narrowband FM. And earlier I discussed with the advantage as well as the disadvantage of the frequency modulation or the angle modulation. What I say that all the advantages are there by using the frequency modulation, but the disadvantage is what? The disadvantage is the bandwidth requirement is more. The bandwidth requirement is more in case of the frequency modulation. So this is regarding the wideband FM and the narrowband FM. The applications for the wideband FM is the FM radio. It is also used in the televisions. So these all are the related to the again the fundamental required to understand the frequency modulation. So in the next lecture we will discuss more about the modulation. Okay. So right now, thank you very much everyone.